I'ma tell you why you can't.
Said you got a long way to go. Say you wanna love me,
Wanna touch me?
think twice, cause you got a long way to go.
Hey, what's up guys, it's me Mike, and today I'm going to do another video tutorial on making some form sigs this time. It's going to be a cool, I don't know, pretty cool effect on making some cool Photoshop brushes, kind of like a star effect kind of thing. So I'm going to show you an example. This right here is going to be kind of like the form sig. I'm going to try to replicate again in this tutorial and show you how to make this really cool star field effect and this kind of outburst of glare behind my text right there. So it's going to be cool. Alright, so create a new layer, or I mean, you know, a new document. For my form signatures I use 750 by 200, and I might just make it 300 for this one, whatever. Alright, so once you have that, I'm just going to fit it on the screen so you guys can see. I normally like to use a black gradient, so you guys can use whatever you want. Alright, so once you have that, you want to create a new layer. Right, that's going to be for the brushes. If you want, you can name it. Just double click and call it stars or something. Alright, so once you have that, you want to select your brush tool, and select this little option up here right next to the workspace tab thing over here. Just select that, the little tab right there, and you're gonna see your brush presets and everything. What you want to do is make sure you select the smallest one, pretty much like a number 5 pixel brush or whatever like that. And you want to make sure that, let me just make that smaller. You want to make sure that the spacing is, you know, pretty decent, maybe about 200, just to be safe. So I'm just going to change that to 200. And leave the hardness at 0. And make sure your scattering is set to 1000. I mean, yeah, 1000. Control is off and everything set to 1. For the brush dynamic, you want to make sure your size jitter is all the way up. If not, then it's going to be all over the place. And you can increase the minimum diameter if you want. You can kind of play with that or not. And then just to have a little example, just resize your brush down a little bit so you can see it more. And just play with it around in the area on the side. So I'm just gonna backspace out of that, and it looks pretty decent, but it looks a little small, so I'm just gonna, oh, I see my opacity is down. Okay, alright, so this is what it should look like, some sparkles and everything like that. You can edit it if you want. You can change the little diameter of it so it looks like this. So it's like it, you know, it's speeding like that. So I'm just gonna undo all of that and put everything back at 0. I mean 100. Alright, so to start off, I'll make sure my brush is set to about 9 or 6 or something like that. And just start going across, just go all over the place like that. And you want to make sure it kind of gets a decent amount of the area. Select it like that. Alright, so once you got that, what you want to do is create a new layer. And you can name this stars too. And what we're going to do now is increase the size. So if it was on 9, you might want to put it to like 20 or 30 or 25, something like that. And just start going over it again. Just not too heavy on it though. Something like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, and next we want to increase it just a little more, so maybe about 60, something like that. So it's fairly bigger. Just go a little more on it like that. Alright, so I'm just gonna zoom out. So you kind of get the star field effect like that. And if you want, you can go into your layers and just double click on the smaller stars. I think I accidentally put some of the moderates, medium size circles or whatever. But you could change the opacity if you want. You can make it like a dark yellow or light yellow, something like that. Pink. For this one, I might just do it like that, like a soft pink type thing. And press OK. For the stars too, which one is the bigger? Do outer glow and change that to about a blue. something like that. This looks cool right there. Alright, and you can give it a little shadow if you want. Just increase the size of the shadow maybe. Or not. Just leave it like that. Alright, so cool. So once we have that, we're going to want to add some text. So I'm going to use a cool, somewhat of a cool text, hopefully. Freestyle script is pretty cool. I really like it. Alright, so I'm going to hit about a 36 on this one. Mike's designs, like that. And just going to place it right there. Give that a layer style. And of course I'm going to edit it, give it a little stroke. I like giving it a black stroke. About a 3 is good. And what we're going to do now is press Ctrl J on that text layer we just made. That's just going to make a duplicate. And we're going to take away, we're going to leave the top copy. And what we're going to do is select the bottom copy and just discard that layer effect. So it's basically going to be white. And we're going to go to filter, noise, add noise. It's going to ask you to rasterize it. Just press OK. And leave it about 40 maybe, uniform and monochromatic. Press OK. And filter again, blur. Now you can either do a motion blur on this, or you can do a radial blur. I'm going to do a radial blur, and I'm going to set it to 100. Zoom and select quality for best. And you're going to see that little effect. It's kind of dim. What we're going to do is press Ctrl J to duplicate it a few times. And if you want, in fact, we're going to not do that. We're going to back step a little bit. Take that duplicate we just made and press Ctrl F. What that's going to do is redo the radial blur a few times. So I just did it about 4 or 5 times. And now we're going to do the duplication of it. So press Ctrl J and just keep pressing it just like that. And you kind of get this effect like that. And if you want, you can go and add a pen tool effect. So add a new layer. So Control Shift N to add a new layer, and add a cool pen tool effect like that. I'm gonna get more into this later in another video on how to use the pen tool and stuff. But it's pretty easy. Alright, so next what we're gonna do is select our brushes again. And since this is the one we made with the sparkle effect, I'm gonna select another brush. So something fairly big, like 13 pixels. Hardness at 0. And then we're going to select our pen tool once again. Right click and select stroke path. Make sure it's selected at brushes and simulate pressure. Press OK. Now what we're going to do is just delete that path and give that a layer effect like that. And if you want, you can edit it. Just double click, go into the gradient. If you want, you can give it a gradient. You can change the outer glow if you want, or something like that. Give it a stroke. I doubt I'm going to give this a stroke. It's probably not going to look too well. But you can, you know, it's optional. But like I said, you can change the gradient to whatever, you know, suits your creation. So maybe this hot pink type thing would be pretty cool. Anyways, I'm just going to select that once again. So that's how you do it. It's creating a cool font signature and stuff like that, with a cool star effect in the background. So it's me, Mike. Catch my videos at youtube.com/bluemike125 and visit my website at mikesdesigns.name.com. Alright, it's me, Mike. See you later. Bye.